So one thing that I would like to tell you immediately is, well, first let me ask you, you were here this afternoon when we were having our faculty forum? You were not? Okay, so basically I'll be repeating what I said this afternoon from the stage, which is that people nowadays play often as if they had an implanted metronome in their heads. And that's how you play. You just play like a machine. And also not very quality in your sound, because you play loud and the sound is brutal. I don't know where to start. I mean, let me start by saying that power needs to be distributed. And so when you play the piano, you have like a whole orchestra at your disposal. Imagine being a conductor in front of an orchestra and you have a forte or fortissimo, and every instrument, to the last instrument, wants to play with the same intensity. They also have the advantage of having different timbres. We don't. So in that case, maybe it could even work, although I'm sure that the conductor would have something to say about it. So you have to be your own conductor. You have to say, here, what should be the voice leading? What should I hear more? You just brutally attack every note. You have a chord. It's 100% volume to each of the notes. That is simply not possible. Not in this world. First. Second, do you ever breathe? Because I don't feel that you breathe ever. I mean, you finished the exposition and you went into the development. And then you started, you attacked even a little bit earlier, and then you started rushing. So excitement is important, drama is important, but surprises are also important, unexpected is important, breathing is important, phrasing, shaping, all of that is important. Anyway, let's start from the beginning, and maybe I can give you a few examples of what I mean. What is the main character of this piece? Well, it says allegro molto e con brio. So it is quite fast piece, and it is quite virtuosic. It is definitely a big piece. But what is the main character, do you think, if you had to choose one word?
Energetic.
Energetic. Okay. But what's the dynamic at the beginning?
Piano.
So start again. I also would say, wouldn't you say that it's quite playful? You don't feel that it's playful. You only feel Beethoven the hero.
Okay.
Early Beethoven often is very humorous, and not only early, but especially early Beethoven is quite often more humorous than heroic, And so I don't feel that side of this at all. Let's start again. Okay, now this is a sforzato. Can you play the sforzato only on the top? This note here is sforzato, but not the whole chord. Yeah, that's right. So, and sforzato in piano is not a big sound. It's just a little bit more attack. Try it. That's already too much. I think it's already too much. And then you're also raising the level of your left hand. Don't raise the level of your left hand. I still think this is too much, by the way. So because I feel this. So if you have this, that shouldn't change. Yes, better. Okay, and now. Sorry, this is too much noise. That's melody. You are mumbling it. I cannot tell what you're playing. That's the melody. Okay, don't lose it. Don't lose it. And then the other thing is the shape of this. So don't use the pedal. I think you're using it for legato. Too often you use the pedal for legato. When you have that's maybe a little bit risky. So you can use the pedal with very quick injections, I call them. So you want to legato. That's enough. But we don't hear it here. Otherwise it becomes very muddy. Try. That's it. Okay, you're already borderline here. You have to play from close and then voice the top note. Don't do this. Yeah, go on. Yes. That sound is a little bit too percussive. Legato. And here, legato and shake. Crescendo, but from close. Yeah, from close, not with pressure and with gestures. Yeah, like think of the long bowlings.
Mm-hmm.
There is too much left end. I know the left end is important and the harmony is important, but this is don't ever play like this. You play from too far away from the keys and then you punch. Play from close and distribute the power. No, see, you don't. Maybe you think you don't have any power if you don't do this. Can you do this? Yeah, and channel it to the pinky. Yeah, you can push more. Yeah, that's how you play loud, by the way. Not like this, but like this. Yeah, exactly. And push more if you want. Not here, but there. Yeah. So, no, not in the left hand. Yes, keep on. No, the second chord less. More expressive. Try. No, you can have more attack in the right hand. No, I hear. So this very light. Pianissimo. That should be very soft. Can you play softer? No, but diminuendo at the end. Yeah, I don't want you now to feel like you can't play loud. Loud is okay. Brutal is not okay. So you can play more. Okay, this is still melody. But you're playing a little bit. You're not making the short note part of the melodic thread, but it is. So if you don't make the short note part of the melody, then all you have is accents. Because so you shape including the short notes. And this is no. And this is even amplified by. So here here there is no sforzato, it's just a slur. This is a little bit more. So it's still accent on the second note, but more. And this is shake the legato. Yeah, do it with your fingers, like this. Just fingers, like a little slap. You can make a little exercise of it. Now you're still accenting the thumb a little bit. Yeah, you'll practice and then continue there. Can you be aware of the length of the note and how it decays and how to connect? Shake this. The slurs are written by Beethoven, 6 notes by 6 notes, and each of them can get softer, but you have to shake by 6 notes. Now, because then you are doing something that contradicts directly what's written on the score. No accent. No. Okay, and this is staccato, almost like bassoon. Think of a bassoon, with a certain sharpness. But this, your staccato is empty because you try to do it with like this gesture. Do it with the fingers. You can control a lot better. Yeah, that's better. Okay, and here, isn't it a good place to breathe? I mean, you don't have to play damn metronomically. It's the end of something. I mean, you don't have to stop either. You have to do it just right, otherwise if it's too much, it's also not working. But you just go like plow through. And it's also a good place to change sound. So when you come away from and sing, there is a tenderness here and a beautiful quality. So and another thing, try to legato without blurring too much. I know that you might have need for the use of pedal here to legato, because I want you to legato all the parts, not just the top. And if you can't do it with your finger, like I'm not using any pedal now, it's a little bit more difficult. It might also depend on the hand span, but if you can't do that, use the pedal, but don't let me hear it. Because before it was very blurred, and especially here, you started playing like, I can hear the pedal, and you don't want. You understand? So, can we do from before? Okay, good. Timing was good. Can you think of two things here? So, you don't need to bring it out or anything. It's not written that way. I'm holding it just to show you. But think of those notes, connect them on a descending scale. So, yeah. No, but it's not. So, there's too much notes. That's the diminuendo of the slur. wouldn't stop too much at the end. I feel that it's too vertical. But if you play like sliding almost, and you can take a little bit extra time at the end. Then here you go forward. This is really hard, but it can't be played the way you play it, because you're not legatoing this. This has to be legato. I hear staccato. It's random. I don't hear it. Okay, so how do we do it without the pedal? But you see, that's the problem. And look, if you do this, yeah, here you can slide here. No, you have to legato. Listen. You can do the same. Yeah, can you just play this once? And then now just play this. Now diminuendo. Again, per the slur. And then we. But it's not legato at the end. No, you see, if you play, that's not legato. You have to switch fingers. Whatever it takes. Your cello is not playing legato till the last note. Yeah. Yeah. It's not a big price to pay. This will take you 5 minutes in the practice room. It's just that you didn't care. I'm not trying to be mean to you. It's when I say you didn't care, it's because maybe somebody didn't make you aware that you should care. You know? But it's written legato. You can't randomly or just rely on pedal, because then you don't staccato here. So this should be like a violin playing like variation, like arabesques around this, because we already heard them. Try it one time. If it works, if not, I promise you, 5 minutes in the practice room, it'll be fun. No, no staccato. This is a gentle. As I said, it's a decoration or ornamentation of this. It's similar to when Beethoven writes, for example, much later on, you have this. It's kind of similar idea. I mean, there's like 2,000 examples one will bring, but this is what came to my mind now. So anyway, let's continue from. Okay, that's already better than before. I can play louder in the right hand and can crescendo more. So I will do this. Very, very loud pinky in the right hand. And generally speaking, first note, then softer and crescendo. So, yeah. Can you try that? Now, you want to do this. Yeah, so, yeah. I will just say it. The last note is not a sforzato. It's loud, but it's almost like it should be played with a fullness and beauty that the other notes don't have. Because ta-ta-ta-ya. So ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-pa, I don't like. So it's almost like the sun came up. Yeah, okay, fine. Let's go on. Okay. It's because you can do this. It's a more rounder gesture. Yeah, and then follow through, go down with your wrist and open your elbow too. Yeah, yes, yes, that's the sounding. Control the piano. I told you before, you have to use your fingers. You do too much of this, the fingers are like spaghetti, overcooked. You know? Then you don't control, but then the note's very sharp. But you see, that's your go-to. You go from above. No, can I show you on this piano? So, no. That's too loud and this is empty. So, and you can voice. And it's very fast but soft. Okay, the short note a little more. You're still accenting the long note. Ti, ta, ta, ti, pa, pa. Yes. That's better. Okay, continue please. Scale without using the pedal. Show me what happens. Okay, but can you legato more? Like you're playing. To legato. So legato, you have to use the pedal. But you shouldn't. Yeah, but your finger, what I'm driving at is, I don't think it's possible to fingering that you're using. And also, the first time you performed it, when I was sitting over there, you struggled with this passage. Now it's better. And probably, if you play it 10 times, you play it well 9 times out of 10. But if you want to play it 10 times out of 10, or at least as close to that as possible, I think a different fingering might be useful. And I will just throw it out there, you can experiment with it. I think that playing super fast legato, crescendo, chromatic scales at this speed with 1-3, 1-3, 1-3 is very hard to achieve, not only the speed, but especially the soundnet and legato. So I think the least amount of turns or uses of the thumb you can make, the better. So if you play, like the fingering that I was using is this. Then 1 to 5, then 1 to 5, then 1 to 5, then 1 to 4. So is to make sure every note is like, it will feel like a glissando because it's so legato and so it's like you can really feel the ramp. You know, it's not, it's like a series of steps, it's not a ramp. And this would, it needs to feel like that. So just consider it, because then what you have to work for is to eliminate because you might say, oh, but it's difficult to go from 5 to 1. But if you practice, it's not difficult. Yeah, you just get used to it, then it becomes very homogeneous. Anyway, this is the same the second time. Now, when we go to the second, to the other section here with the just one more passage here. When you play this, because I wanted to tell you, you played a series of every note was sforzato. Can you play them melodic in what you want from the bass is this sound. It's not about volume, it's about the interference. Theorists call it metric dissonance, which is really a nice way of putting it, because it's what Schumann does so incredibly. To put the bass note, think of this, and the bass is all in the wrong places. And here it's kind of the same, although it's less deviating less from the rhythm. But so just think about that and use the contours of that melody to shape and to create melodic continuity. Now, when you play this, please think of the subdivision. Because you were rushing. And then when you play this, breathe. That's a good place to breathe, maybe even a couple of commas. Okay? And we have to stop. But I hope that, so in essence, you are an excellent pianist, but the quality of your sound, which you can achieve very easily, you need to think about that. Because quantity alone is not good. You have to discern and distribute the power, and you have to conserve quality. Now, there might be a few moments, maybe not in this piece, but there might be a few moments in some composers where you want to go over the edge for a moment, and then rein it back in. But if you just hear, and all the time, as soon as you have a loud chord, go well over. Think about it in modern terms. When you're making a recording, and the engineer is setting the mic, you're going over, and the sound's going to be distorted, and then you're going to hear noise. That's what I was hearing. So just be aware of that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.